Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Day 2, OTAs, recap. They like Dash. What happened to day 1? We went straight to day 2. I don't see no video of day 1. You know why? Because they were stingy with the information yesterday. The official OTA started yesterday. The media wasn't allowed in the building, and guess what? We didn't get a lot of information. We did get a couple of pictures from the website, the Giants.com website, but we really didn't get the information like we normally get when the beat writers are in the building and they dropping videos and they're sharing the tweets and they're talking about the pressers and the podiums and the answers that everybody's giving. But anyway, that was yesterday. Today's the day. We got clips, we got videos, we got throws, we got a little bit of Dexter Lawrence, we got some of the tight ends, we got a lot of Jackson Dart. People was going crazy over Jackson Dart today. A lot of the clips was Jackson. I barely saw Russell Wilson throw the ball, but there was a lot of Jackson Dart videos going around. And guess what? People are excited for Jackson Dart. But without further ado, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you are a New York Giants fan. The way that I'm a New York Giants fan, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I'm giving you enough time to do it right now. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about the OTAs. Okay, first thing, it's been a while since we talked OTAs or recapped OTAs. So for the new people, the new subscribers out there, what I do is normally I break down or recap the day's practice. I talk about injuries, if there are injuries. I talk about attendance. I talk about some of the things the coaches talk about at the podium, and also if the players are at the podium, I talk about those things. So make sure you guys are tuned in and hit the bell too, man. Let you guys know that I'm live, or if I'm dropping a video, or if I just dropped a video, that way you guys can get that information. New York Giants fan, make sure you subscribe to Big Dash Knows. Okay, so first off today, Dable's at the podium, full attendance. He's talking about full attendance, but not everybody will be participating in today's practice. Let's talk about that a little bit. So for me, I'm okay. I'm not even thinking about injuries. I'm thinking about OTAs getting started. I'm not even thinking about injuries. But of course, guys are coming back from surgery. Guys are currently in rehab. Guys are progressing, throughout their rehabs and stuff like that. But let's talk about some of these injuries. And the first name on the list is Malik Neighbors, and everybody takes a breath. What's going on with Malik Neighbors? It's the same thing that's been going on with Malik Neighbors since he's been in college, and that's the toe. He did not get surgery on the toe. I don't know if they're saying that he needs surgery on the toe, but basically he's dealing with that, and it's a workload issue. Obviously, if you had to play today, if you had to play a game today, Malik Neighbors would be playing. That's all I want to hear. He's healthy enough to play in the game. Absolutely. Right now, it's OTAs. If his toe is bothering him, let him go ahead and get that toe healed up, because we're going to need him for this long season. So Neighbors with the toe. Andrew Thomas, again, coming back off of surgery for the Liz Frank. Dexter with the elbow. He did practice. No issues there. Still recovering and progressing in his rehab with his elbow. John Runyon, another guy that's out. I can't remember. I think Runyon was a shoulder. They didn't talk about his injury too much, but he was also at practice today. He did participate as well. Tyrone Tracy did not participate in practice today, dealing with an illness. Same thing for Darius Alexander. And at the beginning, somebody had tweeted about Abdul Carter not being out there. They didn't have a reason. He wasn't on the injury report, but he ended up showing up not showing up late to practice, but getting on the field a little bit later, and he did participate fully. And again, I took a deep breath too, because at first they said Abdul Carter's not out there. I'm like, okay, here we go. He done signed his contract. And if you guys have been following me, be like, okay, how bad is your shoulder? How bad is the foot? And then he ended up being out there and participating. Looked pretty good out there during the drills and also team activities. But let's talk about the podium. Let's talk about some of the things Brian Dable was talking about. All right. So first thing, obviously everybody wants to know about the quarterback situation. That is the most important position on the field. So as far as the quarterbacks come, what's the plan for the quarterback, Brian Dable? He says all these guys will get reps. And that's where he left it at. How are you going to manage these all these guys are going to get reps. Short and to the point. And that's exactly what happened. All these guys got reps. You had, obviously, Russell Wilson running with the ones, Jameis Winston running with the ones and the twos, and then everybody else got the scraps a little bit. They made it special for Jackson Dart, though. They made it special for Jackson Dart. He did get a couple of, starting reps with the starters, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Again, you got to stay tuned for that. All right, so next he talked about Wilson and, just the addition of Russell Wilson, and how from day one he stepped right into that leadership role. You know, he made sure that everybody knew that if they need anything, if they needed any guidance on and off the field, he is the guy that's going to help them. And you like that. You expect that from Russell Wilson. Wouldn't expect anything less from Russell Wilson. So I thought that was pretty cool. But one thing I wanted to talk about in this situation was Evan Neal. Obviously, we already knew Evan Neal was going to be moving the guard. They kept on talking about it. We've been waiting forever. And they did confirm that Evan Neal would be, working out as guard today. He said that Neal was actually excited about it as well, or excited about the opportunity. That's code words. I already know what that means. That means, hey, you wasn't cutting to that tackle. You got a chance to make it as a guard. Make it work. That's my translation for Brian Daboll. Neal's excited about the opportunity. Neal, you better get it together. You got one shot playing guard, or you're gone. Let's hope that you're successful in that. That's my translation. Don't put that on Brian Daboll. That's on me. And then he also talked about, possible joint practices, and that's not until you figure training camp and when we get into the preseason and stuff like that. So obviously, I believe this year we're still playing the Jets. Probably do a joint practice with the Jets. I know we got the Patriots as well. Probably won't do a joint practice with the Patriots because we also play them this season. So for me, I want the joint practices. These guys need as much physicality as they can get going into the season. The way this season is starting off, we need to start off fast, and the best way to start off fast is for real reps, real competition. Don't just throw around your teammates, in training camp. Let's go ahead and find somebody else to beat up, and hopefully we can do that, have those joint practices. Now let's get into these practice notes, right? Let's get into these practice notes. Today was a red zone practice for the most part. 7-on-7 was in the red zone. 11-on-11 was in the red zone. They were focusing on something that they've been lacking, and that's scoring touchdowns, getting into the red zone and punching it in. Obviously, they couldn't punch it in because there's really no running in these practices. Nobody has on shoulder pads or anything. They just got on helmets and T-shirts. But you still want to see how the offense looks. You want to get some good communication between the quarterback and your receivers. You on the defensive side, you want to be able to protect, your end zone. So I always appreciate 7-on-7s, but let's talk about it a little bit. Wide receiver group one that was working with Jameis and also Russell Wilson. You had Slayton, no surprise there. Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, love it. Pascal, Smith-Marset, those were the guys working with the first two quarterbacks. Again, Neighbors not practicing today, not participating in the team drills. Again, he's on load management for the toe. One thing they also talked about in practice was that Jalen Hyatt, they got a clip of Jalen Hyatt doing special teams, practicing special teams, not returning, but kick coverage, punt coverage, kick coverage. I'm going to say this right now. I don't like it. Why? Because I don't believe Jalen Hyatt is a tackler. I don't believe it at all. Is he? No. But I will say this. It tells me that they're letting it be known to Hyatt that, hey, the first 2 years, we didn't get the production that we were looking for. You got to earn this spot on this team. Whenever you got wide receivers on the special teams, we talk about earning a spot on the team. And for me, he better get open on offense. I don't know if I want Jalen Hyatt out there trying to coverage or tackle anybody. And I say that respectfully. I'd rather see him on offense, running outs, deep crosses, slants and all that other stuff, making plays for this offense, scoring touchdowns, because he has not scored a touchdown for this team since he got here. Is it all his fault? Absolutely not. But again, got to take advantage of your opportunities. And as far as opportunities go, we got some information on why he lacked so many opportunities last season. He wasn't getting on the field. He didn't have enough snaps to even register a grade. And we found out that he was a little bit frustrated. Again, he had a heck of an offseason, training camp last year, preseason last year. Then we got into the season and we barely saw him. So come to find out, or the rumor is, don't know how much truth this is, but this is a rumor that's going around right now, is that he was a little disgruntled with the coaching staff, a little bit disgruntled with management, and he ended up in the doghouse. And I'm kind of happy because that explains a lot to me, because at first people were talking about his talent. He doesn't know the offense. He can't run routes. He can't get off the press. A lot of people were saying things like that, but also it's good to hear that, no, he was in the doghouse, and they decided to keep on the doghouse. And guess what? He got in today, was running with the ones, and made a couple of plays. So I'm happy to hear about that. So let's talk about these 7-on-7 red zone stats. Russ went 1 for 4 with a touchdown. Not great, but not bad either. Jameis went 1 for 3 with an interception. Dane Belton got that one. I believe it went off a tipped wide receiver. Dart went 1 for 3 with a touchdown to Juice Wells, so you got the Ole Miss connection coming through. Tommy DeVito went 1 for 1 with a touchdown. They did not give me any information on who that touchdown was to. Tommy DeVito has become an afterthought already, and we're only in day 2 of OTAs. It is what it is. It is what it is. Some other notes when it comes to the offensive line. Again, Andrew Thomas nursing an injury, so he wasn't on the field today. So in his place was James Hudson, the guy we picked up from the Cleveland Browns. He ran as left tackle number 1. Obviously, Runyon, left guard, JMS, center, Van Roten, right guard, Illuminor, right tackle. Drum line or drum roll, please, for Evan Neal. Evan Neal was the left guard, so we finally know what side they're focusing on with Evan Neal. It's on the left side, and he was the left guard with the second team. Left tackle with the second team was Josh Azudu. And again, when it comes to Azudu, he should not be in there as a tackle in a lot of people's opinion, but they keep on putting him over there. Maybe he needs a voice. Maybe he needs to step up and let people know, hey, you know what? We've been trying this experiment at tackle. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to succeed there. Kick me inside. But maybe he doesn't have the ability to say that or to want to say that. And sometimes you just get in where you fit in, and that's where you're going to play at with the second team. Who am I to argue with Joshua Azudu with that? You want to get on the field, this is the way for you to get on the field. I hope you can succeed in that. Another interesting tidbit was Mike Kafka calling the plays. So already we've seen that. This time last year, Brian Dable, we knew he was a one radioing in the play calling and stuff like that. This year, so far, again, this is only day 2 of OTAs. We saw a mini camp too, though. Rookie mini camp. He was calling plays in too. So Mike Kafka looks like he's going to be the guy calling plays again. He got the duties back, and I'm happy about that. Brian Dable needs to focus more on the entire team, not just the offense. We saw it last year, and it was absolutely a debacle. This year, hopefully you can give Mike Kafka back the duties full time. I really think that's what's going to happen anyway. But they haven't formally announced that, but the writing's on the wall when it comes to that. Also, when it came to Abdul Carter played a little bit of both. Both what? Off ball and edge today in practice during the installments. And I would love to say I told you so. Why? Because I told people so. I wasn't the only person saying it, but I know I was saying it on this show. There's value when it comes to Abdul Carter. Some people are saying, no, you can't draft an off-ball linebacker at 3, and I'm saying, no, pump the brakes. You're drafting a defensive weapon at 3 that just so happens to be a pretty good or a very good off-ball linebacker as well as an edge rusher. And we saw today he got a little bit of a mix off-ball linebacker and also at edge. I asked a question to the beat writers. I said, hey, when Abdul Carter was off ball, who was the linebacker next to him? The inside linebacker next to him, was it Micah McFadden? Was it Bobby Okereke? I'm curious to see what they think. Who's coming off of the field and who's going to be the guy playing next to Abdul Carter? Didn't get an answer from that yet, so hopefully I'll check later to see if anybody came through and answered that question for me. So next is going to be 11 on 11 in the red zone. So I got some stats from that, and a lot of people were happy again. There was a lot of Dart news today, and they could not wait to share that Dart got a couple of snaps with the starters. And when Dart got in there, his very first snap in the red zone as a starter was a touchdown to who? I'm going to let you guess. To who? Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt, Dart on his first play with the starters today in the red zone, touchdown to Jalen Hyatt. And did I say Jalen Carter? Hopefully I didn't say Jalen Carter. Jalen Hyatt. Touchdown was to Jalen Hyatt. And from the accounts, it said that it was a good ball from Jackson Dart, but an even better catch by Jalen Hyatt. I'm hoping that they're going to be able to put up the videos of that, because during on 11s they were not allowed to record. That being the beat writers, they couldn't record, so we didn't get any clips of those touchdowns. Next, we got Wilson had the throw of the day. That's what Ryan Dunleavy said. Wilson had the throw of the day. It was a fade touchdown to Darius Slayton. And then also Dart got back in there. He had three plays with the starters today. 3 starting snaps for Jackson Dart. One was a touchdown. The other one was, I believe, an incompletion. And then the last one was an interception. Michael McFadden got that. So, again, you win some, you lose some. First day, 3 plays or 3 snaps with the starters. You got one for a touchdown, the other one for an interception. Also throwing an interception today was Jameis Winston. He threw an interception to, it was Dane Belton. I think I said that already, though. Next is going to be just some of the player notes from the podium. Bobby Okereke was at the podium today. He said he did a lot of studying this year. Obviously, there was it was a down year for Bobby Okereke last year. A lot of people feel that way. The stats say that. He dealt with an injury. Said he jumped right into the books. He's very, very familiar with the defensive scheme. Did a lot of studying. Love to hear it. Also, he talked about Russell Wilson and how Russell Wilson from day one stepped right in a leadership role. He talked about Abdul Carter being as advertised as well. So again, first time these guys really practicing together. Again, OTA number 2. All of the stuff that you want to hear, you're hearing it. Next is going to be Van Roten, and I thought it was kind of funny what Van Roten said. Van Roten said that this year, this offensive line group is better than it has been. The most talent he's seen on this team. Again, he's only been here 1 year, and then also a lot of depth within this offensive line. So a lot of depth. That part makes sense to me when he said, most talented group a more talented group than last year's group. A lot of the players are the same. The starting offensive line is the same. Yes, you got a swing tackle in James Hudson. You picked up Stone Forsythe. Obviously, you drafted Marcus Bowe. So maybe that's what he means as far as more talent. But as far as the starters go, the starters are pretty much the same. And I think that's what's going to happen anyway with the starting 5, same as last year. But I just thought it was interesting that he said there's more talent on the team for offensive line. And then the last guy I want to talk about at the podium was Javon Holland. Just basically saying that he's excited for the season, loves the way this defense is looking, loves the names on paper for this defense. It has a strong front, has hard-hitting linebackers, has a talented secondary. He also talked about Tyler Nubin, said that, he didn't know much about Tyler Nubin before he got here, outside of seeing him a little bit and watching some of his tape, when he got signed here, but also said that he's super talented and he can't wait. He can't wait for the season to start and to work with this guy against other teams. But that's going to be the video. Just talked about some of the things that we saw today. Full-on recap of OTA day number 2. They're off tomorrow and back on the 30th. So I'll do a recap again on the 30th. That'll be Friday. But yeah, other than that, New York Giants football is back. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited too. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.